As a professional organization, the NFL has only been in existence for 101 years. This is young compared to the MLB, which has been around for 152 years. One thing that has been consistent throughout this time is the lack of creativity team executives have for their franchises' names. As a result, many NFL teams were named after random things that may or may not relate to the cities that they play for. But in this video, we're going to look at NFL teams that were for some reason named after MLB teams. So the first team might seem a little obvious to the average sports fan. It's the New York Giants.
All hail the New York Giants!
The New York Giants got their name from the MLB team, known today as the San Francisco Giants. How did a football team on the East Coast get its name from a baseball team on the West Coast? Well, the New York Giants football team was established in 1925 by owner Tim Mara with a total investment of $500. In the 1920s, baseball was the most popular sport in the United States, and with the New York Giants baseball team being so popular in the country's most populated city, Mara wanted to give his team the same name to gain some local fan interest. So to have some distinction between the two, his team would officially be called the New York Football Giants, which is still the official name today. Later on in 1957, the baseball team moved west to San Francisco. So that's how the New York Giants of the NFL got their name from the San Francisco Giants of the MLB. Let's move to the Midwest for the next team, and by that I mean the Detroit Lions. The Lions got their name from the Detroit Tigers of the MLB. In 1934, when George Richards purchased the Portsmouth Spartans for $8,000 and moved the team to Detroit, he decided to change the team's name as well. After some thought, he chose to name his team the Detroit Lions because he intended on putting together a football team that was, quote, the king of the NFL. He also liked that it tied in with the large Wildcat theme the Detroit Tigers baseball team had going on. So that's how the Detroit Lions of the NFL got their name from the Detroit Tigers of the MLB. Staying in the Midwest, the next team is the Chicago Bears, who got their name from the Chicago Cubs of the MLB. In 1922, the Chicago Staleys moved home stadiums to Wrigley Field, which was the home stadium of Chicago's baseball team. That same year, the agreement that required the football team to be called the Staleys expired, so team owner George Halas needed to think of a new name for his team. Because his team was to share the same stadium with the Chicago Cubs, and because he was a good friend with the Cubs owner, he was thinking of naming his football team the Chicago Cubs. This was also a capitalization on the popularity of baseball in that era. However, Halas ultimately decided to name his team the Chicago Bears, which preserved his desire to tie in with the Cubs. He also explained that, quote, if baseball players are Cubs, then football players must be Bears, because he reasoned that football players are far bigger than baseball players. So that's how the Chicago Bears of the NFL got their name from the Chicago Cubs of the MLB. For this next team, we're going to jump around a little bit. The Washington football team got its name from the Atlanta Braves baseball team. Kinda. In 1932, the city of Boston was awarded an NFL franchise, which was to play its games on a field owned by the Boston Braves baseball team. Naturally, the football team took the name of the baseball team, making the Boston Braves an NFL team. Yeah, I guess owners at the time thought, baseball is popular, let me name my football team after the baseball team. The following year, the Boston Braves football team moved to Fenway Park, and to prevent any confusion with the baseball team, owner George Marshall changed his team's name to the Boston Redskins, which kept the Native American theme. The Boston Redskins football team moved cities to Washington, D.C. to become the Washington Redskins in 1937, and then in 2020 changed the official name to the Washington football team after social and political pressure. It seems the team wants to change its name in the near future to something more consistent with other NFL teams. As for the Boston Braves baseball team, it was moved to Milwaukee in 1941 and then finally to Atlanta in 1966, where it still currently is. So technically, the Washington football team of the NFL got its name from the Atlanta Braves of the MLB. Now to finish off this list, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, who got their name from the Pittsburgh Pirates baseball team. In 1933, Art Rooney purchased an NFL franchise which would play its games in his home city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The team would play its games in Forbes Field, which happened to be the same home field as the Pittsburgh Pirates baseball team, so of course the football team also had to be named the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates football team did not have much early success, so in 1940, Rooney felt that a fresh start would be good for the team, and he also had enough of being the baseball team's copycat. The team held a Name the Team contest in the city's local newspaper, and eventually, the Pittsburgh Steelers became the new name of the football team. It was chosen because it honored the city's large steel-producing industry. So that is how the Pittsburgh Steelers of the NFL got their name from the Pittsburgh Pirates of the MLB. If you want to know the complete timeline of every NFL team, watch this video. It goes really in depth, and if you like that kind of stuff, check it out. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, please share it with someone, and liking it would be nice too. Thank you guys. Peace out.